Greetings and salutations. It is early in the morning here, and I am getting ready to jolt on up to Smoky Mountain Bike Week. It's only about, 3.5 hours away from me here in Atlanta, and being as I'm going to Myrtle Beach this weekend, I thought I would jolt up there just for one day. So today's Wednesday. It's the only day that I'm going to be up there, but I wanted to see how different it is from last year. If you remember last year, we had the whole hurricane thing going on. We did shoot a whole episode, but there wasn't a whole lot of people. So we'll see how much it is now. I know it's the weekday. It's not going to be as much as the weekend, but that's one of the issues when it comes to these two rallies being at the same time is you have to decide which one you're going to. So we're going to Myrtle Beach this weekend, but today we're headed up to Smoky Mountain Bike Week. Thanks for joining me on today's Graybeard Biker. So here we are early Wednesday morning with a hell of a day trip planned. Maryville, Tennessee is about 3.5 hours away, normally. Alright guys, I am in the North Georgia mountains. The sun is finally starting to come out, and it is uncomfortable. Uncomfortable somewhere between cool and cold. And I started thinking to myself, why do we do that? You know, I don't have my wife on the bike today. I have plenty of room. I could have brought my jacket. I didn't. Because I know what the temperature is going to be later today. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. Why do we do that? Also, I have on my fingerless gloves. I have my gauntlet gloves with me, but I'm not wearing them. Why do we do that? It's like, do you have to prove something to somebody? You're going to prove how tough you are? Anyway, it's ridiculous. But I just thought I would ask the question, why do we do that? Why do we choose to be uncomfortable when we don't have to? We prove how tough we are when we don't have to. I am not a teenager. I am not 20 years old. I have nothing to prove to anyone. So why do we do it? No one's here for me to impress. But the good news is the sun is coming out, like I say, and it should start to get warmer. Then I have to worry about the same thing on the way home. Again, I don't know why we do it. Let me know what you think in the comments. So yeah, it was a lot colder than I thought it was going to be. And so I suffered. And I decided to warm up at Chick-fil-A for breakfast before hitting the road again. Y'all, I love Chick-fil-A. Love their mission, love their values, love their customer service that they give people, but their coffee is terrible. Terrible. Anyway, at this point, instead of going the usual way, we decided to change it up, and we headed to Cherokee, North Carolina. On the way, I saw a sign for Tula Falls, observation deck. So I stopped to capture this for you. All right, folks, I just thought I'd make a real quick stop here and let you see Tula Falls. Well, the Tula Falls overlook anyway. It's just one of the things on the way up to Smoky Mountain Harley-Davidson that you can stop and do some sightseeing. So let me see what shots I can get for you. And this is an official Bigfoot crossing, in case you were wondering where that is. Not a lot to see at the moment. Fall hasn't really happened yet, but it was the first time that I had been there and actually been inside the store and on the porch that they have. Usually when I pass through here, it's late in the day or on Sunday and they're closed. So finally, we get to Cherokee and we stop at the Harley shop there to look for an extra layer of clothing because the cold was biting, but it just cost too much. I'm not willing to spend $80 on a sweatshirt, especially when it's clearance. And the sun was starting to rise, so I decided we're pressing on.
I'm pressing on, all my distress is going, gone, pressing on, I'm pressing on.
So next up, our plan from Cherokee was to take a ride over the mountains. So we went through the Great Smoky Mountains. Some solid mountain riding without going to the Dragon, which we already did. So I have decided that the first place we're going to go to is the Foothills Mall. Smoky Mountain Bike Week really has two different vendor setups, two different spots. And so we're going to go to the smaller of the two first. They have a full parking lot. That's good. I feel like this is different than last year, right?
That color combo.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's unique. You gotta make it your own.
You always do, right?
Yep. All right, let's go walk around, see what's here. Mostly there are service vendors set up here. This is where all the performance and service stuff is. Of course, we've seen these before. I believe those are Boss. Here's Adam. I got some shirt vendors here. Motorcycle fairings. If you wanted yourself a fairing, there you go. See that one over there looks like helmets. I actually considered getting one of these at one time because I wanted to put speakers on it, and so that was going to be my solution. And then I found out that you could put the lower fairing on it, put the speakers in there, and then of course the saddlebags. And that's the route I decided to take. The exhaust. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are sitting around not really doing anything. And I think that's mostly because it's Wednesday. And on Wednesday, they don't really have a lot to do. Not as much as they will on the weekend, you know. But I'm glad that this exists because it's close. And I like having them, you know, other than places other than Florida. But the issue we run into is it's doubling up on a weekend with Myrtle, which is also in the south. Clock works. Well, looks like that's it. Here's Hertz, that's where my speakers are made. Zero, they make my cup holder, which I have a bone of contention with. So if you've never been to a rally before, besides all the trinkety rally gifts and things, they have service areas like this. You get your exhaust put on, get your lighting done, get your, well, Adam does your oil changes, or he's pretty much a mechanic. He does whatever, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Adam. And then these people sell performance parts, and they will literally put it on your bike while you are here. Mustang Seats does the custom seats, of course. All right, that's going to be it for the foothills here. We're going to head on over to Smoky Mountain Harley-Davidson, which is the main thing. All these bikes in the parking lot here. Then it was over to the main hub of the event, Ground Zero, Smoky Mountain Harley-Davidson. Now I met up with our friends from Breezy Ryder. They've got a new product this year. It's called the Breezy Hyder, a concealed carry holster made out of the same material as their Breezy Ryder seat. So it should be comfortable and breathing, not sweating, that sort of thing. They were actually sold out, so I didn't really get to try one. Now, crowds were better than last year. The hurricane last year definitely hurt turnout. But even with that, I wanted to come up and see what the turnout was, understanding that I'm here on a weekday. So while it's better than last year, it's nowhere near what I expect the weekend numbers are going to be. So this is obviously not as big as Sturgis or as big as Daytona, because those are the two biggest in the country. After hanging out here for a while, I made my way back to Atlanta via the interstate so that I could get home faster. Usually I avoid the interstate at all costs. But it was cold, it was late, and I had a long way to go. Now there was nothing exciting on the interstate, so I didn't bother filming. But all in all, not a bad midweek run, a day trip from Atlanta up to Smoky Mountain Bike Week. If you're headed up on the weekend, which is what I recommend, expect bigger crowds, more action. They're starting to do these little events in the evening. Now, obviously I had to come back home to Atlanta, so I didn't do that. But there's different rides. They're starting to open up additional places. There's something in Lenore City. So it's growing. You just can't all see it clustered in one place like you could the first year. Now, if you enjoyed this ride recap, please hit the like button, subscribe for more Harley rides and events, and let us know in the comments if you're planning to make it to Smoky Mountain Bike Week next year. Making those comments, subscribing, all that stuff helps us out with the YouTubes. Thanks. So that's it for this little episode, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay free, keep it shiny side up.